Alright guys, welcome to the round 19 review for fantasy. This week we scored 2294, which is a really solid score. So I'm really happy with how my team performed this week and posted a really solid score. Puts us at an overall rank of 6, so we went up a couple of spots, which is really good. Credit to Lockie Whitfield for scoring a 132. Really helped us push up the rankings, so that was good. And round 19 rank of 1560, which is pretty good. So I'm happy with my team and how they played this week. In terms of the trades that we made, we went Amadi and Highmore out. Reasoning behind that was Amadi was managed, I think, and Highmore was injured, so we had to trade them both. Highmore had probably reached his break even anyway, and Amadi was close enough, so we traded those two out, and we brought in Lloyd and West. Now, it was either West or Durham, the Essendon rookie, and in the end, we went West. Sort of followed the crowd a lot. I know a lot of coaches brought in Conor West over Durham. I watched the game and I liked Durham a bit better than West, but we sort of just went with the crowd and brought in West over Durham, which is probably the wrong call because I think Durham has better job security than West, and he probably has a bit better scoring ability. So I think Durham was probably the right call, but that's fine. Conor West was still solid, and he should play the rest of the season out, hopefully. So I still think it's a decent trade. And then Highmore to Lloyd. I'm really happy with this trade. It was either him or Matthew Kennedy. Was contemplating whether to save the 70k or not and go Kennedy, but we stayed strong and went Lloyd, and in the end was probably the best decision I made. So really happy with that. Yeah, in terms of defense this week, probably the highlight of my team. Laird, outstanding, 142. He's the number one midfielder down at the Crows, and he's getting on the scoreboard now, which is also really good. So he's becoming an absolute star of the competition and goes underrated. Jack Crisp, good to see him bounce back with a 140. He loves his plus sixes. He looked really good throughout the weekend. And then Lockie Whitfield, 132, really helped me push to sixth. I think if Lockie Whitfield, scored a 90 or 80, we would have probably been 11th or 12th right now. But dashed out a big score and helped us push to that sixth position, so I'm really happy with that. Also, Zach Merritt and Tim Taranto not scoring too well also helped us, because I know a lot of coaches have Tim Taranto, and a couple had Merritt as captain, so for them to score really poorly kind of helped us in terms of ranking. But yeah, Whitfield, credit where credit's due, really good score. And then Christian Salem, we picked him up 2 weeks ago, and he hasn't really performed. He's got an 80 and a 60. So I'm not too sure whether or not he got tagged. Didn't watch the game, although this is a bit of a risky pick. So there was always a high risk picking Christian Salem because he could dash out a 60, which he has done this week. But I do like his ceiling, and he's definitely got what it takes to be a top 6. So we'll have to wait and see on Christian Salem as a pick. He's got a good couple of matchups coming up, so we'll probably hold him for a couple of weeks. But if he doesn't perform next week or this week even, we might have to trade him. And then Tom Stewart and Lloyd, pretty solid, 104, 103, really happy with that. Connolly on the bench was fine, 30, and Bianco, 68, he's probably got 1 or 2 more weeks in him left, so I probably wouldn't be trading just yet. And then our midfield this week, Mitchell as captain was amazing, 112. I could have gone McRae or Oliver, but I never really thought about it, so we went Mitchell. And yeah, didn't really switch our captain throughout the week, it was always on Mitchell. And I'm happy with what he scored in the end. He was pretty solid, so I'll take that. Merritt was really poor, so let's just hope he can bounce back. Sam Walsh also was poor, but considering he got tagged, you let it slide. Hopefully he doesn't get many more tags for the rest of the season, because we need him scoring big. And then Jack McRae, 138, he's back to his usual ways, so he looked really good, marking and tackling, which is great signs. Adams, I think he might be carrying an injury, because he played about 69% time on ground, and played like half of that second half, didn't play much, so he was in the trainers for majority of the third quarter, just on the bench for 13 minutes I think, and in that last quarter he was down in the rooms in the last 5 minutes, so maybe he's playing with an injury, who knows, but his first half was really good. He was looking on track for like a 140, and then he just slowed down massively in the second half. But Oliver, he was really good. This is why we brought him in, for him to score 120 each week, and he's been really good the last 2 weeks. Lockett Neal, same deal with Sam Walsh. He also got tagged, which is a bit unfortunate, and he's probably going to get tagged a couple of these weeks in the remainder of the season, which isn't great. So he might be one that we look to trade soon. Although I like his matchup this week against, I think it's Gold Coast or Hawthorn, I can't remember. He plays Hawthorn this week. Maybe Warple goes to him. Who knows? I think he's still 100 this week, so he should be alright. But there obviously is that concern of him getting tagged each week, which isn't great. And then Sharp has been the best trade we've made all season. Really happy that we brought him in last week, I think. Oh, no, 2 weeks ago. He's been really good. He scored a 120 and a 112 for us, so really good stuff from Sharpie. And holding on to Whitfield was probably a key move because we loopholed Sharp's score onto field. And a lot of coaches traded out Whitfield while we held him, so I'm really happy with that decision to hold Whitfield and play Sharp because Sharp has been phenomenal. So credit where credit's due. Jeremy Sharp, probably the best rookie I've brought in all year. And then Conor West, 47, was alright. Might get dropped. Chances are he stays in the team, but there is a slight possibility he gets dropped, which is a bit of a concern. And then gone back to his usual ways, which is good to see. And Darcy with a 90 was poor, but considering he played through injury, you'll definitely take that. Lloyd Meek coming into the side definitely affects him, because Meek was playing majority ruck while Darcy was playing at full forward. So I think Darcy played like 60% forward, 40% ruck, which isn't great. Meek definitely stole a lot of his hitouts and his possessions, which prevented him from going 110, 115 plus, I think. So whether or not Meek holds a spot, I think he probably will hold a spot, but I'm hoping that he gets omitted so Darcy can go back to being a full-time ruck. And then Reeves on the bench, didn't watch the game, but at 64, surely he holds a spot. He's been pretty good, and he can be a rookie that we offload soon. In terms of our forwards this week, though, Aaron Hall, standard stuff from him, 112, looks really good. Probably the number 1 forward, if not number 2 this year. He's looking phenomenal. Josh Kelly, slight concern of him not playing this week, but he managed to pull through and scored a 96, so respectable score. Same goes with Jack Siebel. Nothing too special here, 82, sort of around that average mark, but Siebel's sort of slacked off from the start of the season with Hall back in defence now, so his ceiling's kind of dropped off, but I think he's still a good, consistent option. And De Goey had a massive last quarter to get to 93, so I'm happy with that from De Goey. Really good stuff. And then Pendlebury got injured, which is unfortunate, so he's out for the remainder of the season, so we're going to have to be trading him. And Bramble is also another good rookie that we brought in, so Sharp and Bramble have been absolute gems. Bramble's taking kickouts, he looks really good off half-back, and he scored an 81 this week, so he looks good. Same goes for Finlay McRae, who we benched this week with a 71. He too looks really, really good, so he's playing in his desired position, which is good to see, and he's scoring well. And then Williams and Mills didn't play. Mills will come back this week after his lockdown is eased, so he should be back this week, which would be really good. And then in terms of our trades this week, I think what we're going to be doing is bringing in Dane Zorko. So Newcomb to a 170k rookie is probably what we're going to be doing. We don't really need to be chasing anyone that's already gone up in price, so like a 200k rookie. Trying to get as much cash as possible. And there's 4 more rounds left, so we're going to be chasing 170k players on debut, and probably even 170k players who aren't playing, just so we could loophole a bit better. So we're going to go Newcomb to a 170k player that's playing this week. If there isn't any named, we'll probably still go to a 170k non-playing player. And then I think we'll go Pendlebury to Zorko. I was considering Brodie Grundy, although I think Brodie Grundy and Dangerfield are both really good options, but I think Zorko is probably the player we need here. Only because we're going a bit different. Not many coaches in the top 50 have Zorko, so I think going Dane Zorko is a good move. And Grundy hasn't been that great of late, and Dangerfield has been really good, although I feel that he does slack off a bit when his team doesn't really need him, so I think that Zorko is the go-to move here. And that leaves us with 1 rookie on field this week. It means we field Callum Mills and bench Sharp. So Sharp has been really good, as we know, in the last couple of weeks, which is great. But I think we play it safe, go Callum Mills. If Sharp scores well, we just have to bench him. Bit unfortunate because we probably want Sharp over Bramble on field, but we can't really do anything because there's no DPP switching here. So we'll have to field Bramble this week, which I still think he'll score an 80 and he should be fine. Although Sharp, with his ceiling and the way he's been playing the last couple of weeks, we probably want Sharp over Bramble. But that's how our team's looking like at the moment. pretty solid. We've got one more upgrade to go, and then we'll probably do some sideways trades towards the back end with players like trading out someone who's not performing, like maybe a Lockie Neal, Adams, or even a Zeeble, to players who have high ceilings like Took Miller, Jack Steele. And the cash we're going to get from players like Bianco, Sharp, West, Reeves, and Bramble is going to be a lot. So we're going to have a lot of cash to make big upgrades, which is really good. So I'm happy with my team and how they're performing at the moment. Those are the trades we're making. In terms of captaincies this week, I think Rory Laird is a really good option. Place the dogs so they don't tag, so he hasn't gone under 115 I think in a while now. So Rory Laird is a really good VC option. And then I do like Tom Mitchell, who hasn't gone under 100 in a while as well, so he should have a good game. And in terms of Sunday matchups, nothing too juicy there. So Rory Laird, Tom Mitchell, they both have good games. Clayton Oliver plays the Suns, so he might be one you look to VC this week. So those are just a couple options if you have them in your team that I would recommend probably VCing or captaining this week. And as far as rookies go, if you're looking to bring in a rookie just for some bench cover, I've listed a couple of rookies here. I think out of the lot, Rusco is probably your best bet, followed by Durham and Claverino third. Henry is a bit too expensive for my liking, and Ginnivan and Tohill. I think Ginnivan gets dropped. Tohill will probably hold, but yeah, out of the lot, I reckon Rusco and Durham are probably your go-to, and then Claverino if you can't really afford those two. But those are just a couple of rookies that you could look at if you're looking to bring in a cheap player. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're probably going to be captaining Tom Mitchell this week. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not too sure. But yeah, team's looking really good with the one rookie left on field. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.